Here's Quanell X and Big Angry Adams, ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
He was helping control the flow of traffic prior to UC's commencement ceremony.
The officer was just out doing his job, directing traffic up near the University of Cincinnati.
The deputy was transported to University Hospital, where he later died. That news was announced during a joint press conference with Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Thigi and Hamilton County Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey.
Our deputy had just retired just a few months ago and continued on in service as a special deputy. With all of his experience, we were incredibly glad to have him.
There, Thigi made the jarring announcement that the driver, Rodney Hinton Jr., is the father of 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, who was shot and killed by Cincinnati police Thursday.
So that is currently under investigation by both our homicide unit as well as the traffic unit.
Police say Hinton Jr. has been charged with aggravated murder. He remains in critical condition at the hospital.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
All right, Quanell, this is a story out of Cincinnati in Ohio where a police officer was working the commencement, the graduation ceremonies for the University of Cincinnati, and it appears that a man, Rodney Hinton Jr., drove his car intentionally into him, killing him on purpose in retaliation for the death of his son, Ryan Hinton, an 18-year-old who was shot by a completely different police officer earlier in the week. You have a wash of support. I think we have a clip of Rodney Hinton Jr.'s original court appearance where someone was making a heart window at him through the glass. And you have seen a tremendous amount of support for him on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Common refrain is Rodney Hinton stood on business. He is saying ugly things to the officers in attendance there, and there is a tremendous amount of applause and misinformation. And a number of people are saying that he killed the officer involved in his son's shooting, and that misinformation is perpetuated to some degree by our news media that seems to always take the tact, police bad, white person bad. I know you pretend we live in this world of the 40s and 50s of Jim Crow where it's the opposite. But like the BBC writes, a day after his 18-year-old son was gunned down by officers. CNN wrote that his son was killed while running from police. And there's a lot of talk about how the video is not clear. What no one is talking about, right, until you dig either deep into the article or not at all, is the fact that Ryan Hinton, the 18-year-old that was killed, was in a stolen car. Him and the other 3 occupants of the stolen car fled and then fled on foot. And that Ryan Hinton, while fleeing on foot from police chasing him after he exited a stolen car, was holding a gun in his hand, right? And the officer's alleging when he turned, he thought the gun was pointed at him, so he shot him. This is not simply someone running away. This is not simply someone gunned down. This is not the false impression that the media paints to try to stoke racial hatred in this country and racial divide. This was just a criminal in a stolen car with a gun who pointed it either at or in the direction of law enforcement and got shot. That's what happens, right? That's what happens when you steal a car and you run from police and your gun gets pointed either intentionally or unintentionally in the direction of the cops, you get killed. Rodney Hinton took it and said, you know what, I'm mad, I'm gonna go kill some other cop. And wait, we were just talking yesterday and you're saying this speaks to white America. So what does this say about black America?
We only got 7 minutes.
When everyone's applauding this murder. I don't think it says anything about black America. I think it says something about the scumbag individual supporting this murderer.
Let me say this to the family of the officer who was killed. You're in my prayers. Your loved one did not deserve to die in that manner or die at all. I completely disagree with Mr. Hinton killing that innocent officer who had nothing to do with his son's death. But I understand the sentiment and the anger toward the department that murdered his son.
Then no one murdered his son.
Then tried to give a narrative out to the public that was not true.
There's a video.
Brothers and sisters, there's a video out there that I watched twice coming here. I ask you all to watch the video and look at the officer's initial statement that was read by the police chief. Said this young man turned and pointed his weapon at the officer. He never turned his around at all. He got out the car within 6 seconds. You see him running with the gun by his side like this in his left hand. He's running that way, the officer behind him. Every shot was to his back. And what they lied and said, the cop said he turned around and pointed that weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, go look at the video, and if you are a father, and you've heard the narrative that your son got out and pointed the gun at the cop and the cop shot him and killed him, then you go downtown and you look at the video and you see that cop absolutely lied, and the chief lied to the public too, and that your son was running away. Yes, that's what they got a jail cell for. He was running away, never pointing that gun at anyone. You shouldn't have a damn gun committing a crime. I got you. You go to jail for that. Let a judge and jury determine what the outcome is going to be. But that cop lied to justify the execution-style killing of that young man. You got fathers, many of them in this country. Unfortunately, man, some fathers not going to tolerate you killing their kids like that, man. If my kid is wrong, the system punish them.
So you are rationalizing
the system
it.
should
I
put
was
them
waiting for
in
that.
jail. But some fathers now are not going to sit back, man, black or white or brown, and let you murder their children and then lie about the circumstances that caused you to kill their child, and then you don't expect them to retaliate against you. His retaliation against an innocent cop was wrong.
Oh, but
now if
this
had been the cop that shot his son, that's a different discussion.
Okay, so here's the thing. What most black, white, and brown, as you call them, fathers, what they should do if they're in the home, and what I think most of them do, is they raise their kids, right, to not steal cars, to not run from the police, to not have a gun in their hand when they're running from the police. Now, you have painted a false portrait as if he was running away.
He was. Watch the video.
With the cops behind him.
He was. Watch the video.
He ran behind a dumpster,
and he came out.
Ran out
and he came
sideways,
out. He came out.
Right?
Just like this. He came out like this. The cop right here behind him. Right here behind him. And the gun was pointing down like this.
Officer sees
never pointed at him.
in his hand, and he's refusing to comply. And he thinks that
it was 6 seconds.
He thinks that you don't
killed
have
him in
to
6
wait
seconds.
to get shot.
He killed him in 6 seconds.
You don't have to wait.
Well, why lie about it? Why lie about the circumstances?
I imagine
because he lied and said he turned around and pointed the gun. He never did that. That's a lie.
The officer believed that that's what's occurring, right? You are running around chasing a stolen car, chasing people on foot. You see one of the criminals with a gun in his hand, right? And you perceive it as pointing at you. You get to shoot him. You perceive it. Even if you make a mistake,
in the
which
back,
I don't think he did.
Multiple shots in the back,
but
Charles.
That's not what happened.
Yes,
right?
it was. All of the shots were to the back. Every shot was to the back.
Literally rationalizing this scumbag.
No,
and you know what
I'm doing is I'm condemning the lie of the circumstances that justified his shooting in the eyes of the department. It was a lie.
What happened was
he told a lie.
What happened was the Ryan Hinton apple did not fall from the Rodney Hinton tree very far, right? You have one criminal raising another criminal.
So what you're saying is that we should judge children by their fathers?
No, I think they both
because
did
if we judge you white folks by your fathers, should we have that same attitude?
A wonderful guy.
I know he was. Okay. Should we have that same attitude by white America? Okay. That you'll know better than your fathers?
You see, you're trying.
Since you're gonna bring his father and his son up to it,
because they both committed horrible crimes.
But one committed a crime out of sheer anger and rage about the lies that was told surrounding the execution-style killing of his son.
Okay, an execution.
The cop lied about the circumstances, Charles.
Would be if the kid was captured and a cop ran up and shot him in the head. And it's that lie, that soft lie of yours that's being just promulgated throughout the media. If you steal a car.
But you justify the lie the cops told. You're trying to whitewash his lie.
No, I think that cameras are very important because they protect the truth. I think the officer probably saw the gun and thought it was pointing at him. You've never chased a suspect with a gun. I was very fortunate when I had. I never felt like I needed to shoot anyone, right? But you don't always perceive everything 100% accurate. However, your story that he was running away is not true. He was moving sideways.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he's moving
watch
sideways,
the video,
and he's got a gun in
you
his
will
hand.
see that he has a gun in his hand. The gun is down to the ground.
Hey,
he never raised the gun. He
that's
never
not
pointed the
true.
gun. He never even looked at the
running with
cop.
the gun
He
like
never
this.
even looked at the cop.
Here's the
And
thing.
in 6 seconds of
Here's
getting
the
out that
thing.
vehicle, 6 seconds, he shoots that kid multiple times
You
in the
don't,
back.
as a police officer,
Charles,
you don't have to wait for the
as a
felon to shoot
father,
and kill
as a
you
father,
if he's not dropping the gun.
you hear the police
You
chief
tell
go
him,
for the public
drop the gun.
and lie about
if
the
they don't
circumstances.
drop the gun, you get to shoot him.
He never
Period.
gave him a chance. 6 seconds?
He
never gave him a chance.
He could have left the gun in the car.
Charles,
what do you
I
think?
agree with you. I know. I
What do
agree.
you think he was going to do
I
with
agree.
the gun? Why
But
do you think?
Charles,
Why do you think he had the
why
gun out?
lie about the circumstances?
Why do you think he had
to
the gun out?
justify the murder of that young man?
You just said that young man, that young innocent man, he's being.
I didn't say he was innocent. I said he did not deserve to be executed, and let a lie go out to justify the execution.
I really absolutely love the description of the incident and the pictures
Watch the
of
video.
The young man in his football
Watch the video.
outfit, nice and kind, and I don't see it. You know, someone doesn't just go steal cars, running around with an illegal gun. That just doesn't happen overnight. That's not something that surprises anyone.
You'll be surprised. Yes, it does.
If you raise a
I've
bad
seen good kids. I've seen good kids
Okay.
hang around some bad kids, and overnight your child would do something that you never thought your child ever would do for hanging out with the wrong group of people, Charles.
So why was
But
he
Charles,
the one
as
with
a
the gun?
father, do not kill my son.
Well?
And then lie to the world of why you said it was justifiable, and then I see a video that says you are absolutely lying about the circumstances that caused you to kill
Hold on.
my son.
Was the son in a stolen car?
Yes,
Did
but
the
you don't
son
kill
flee?
him.
Hold on.
Driving a stolen car don't justify
did the
your
s-
child being executed.
did the s-
Take him to jail. Let him see
did
the judge and
son-
have a jury decide.
Did the son jump out of the car and run behind
But
some
that doesn't
dumpsters?
justify killing him.
And when he did all this, did he have a gun in
Pointed
his
to
hand?
the ground, yes.
Okay, so you have an armed suspect actively committing multiple felonies, right? And doesn't disarm himself, gets shot by the police, right?
In the back.
And you think that
Multiple shots in the
justifies-
back. You cool with that?
And you think, oh yes.
So you cool
okay.
with a
Yes.
cop shooting someone multiple times in the back who's not pointing a weapon at them.
Okay.
You cool with that?
From this video, which wasn't someone running away, it was running sideways with a gun.
No,
in his
he
hand.
was running away. Watch the
This
video,
is
ladies
a
and
deadly
gentlemen.
weapon.
He was running away.
Okay.
Watch the video.
It's not true. Facts matter. And then you say, so you decry the father for killing an unknown deputy.
An
But you're
innocent
saying-
deputy
but you're
who
saying
had
if he-
nothing to
if
do
if he'd
with
have
the execution of his father.
If he'd have killed the cop who was just trying to stop the stolen car and stop the bad man with a gun,
Let me tell you
well, that would have
something.
been okay
You
in
kill
Cornell's
my
book.
dog, I'm going to
Okay.
kill your cat.
Okay. Well, that's a disgusting scenario.
Hell no.
And I think
You
the
kill
better
my dog,
sentiment
I'ma kill
would
your
be
cat.
telling the youth of America, hey, if you engage police even while
Don't
committing a
kill
crime,
our sons and then
you
lie
have
to
a
the
gun,
world about why you
put
did
the
it.
gun down. Don't leave the gun in the car. Don't run from
Don't
the cops
commit.
with
I
a
said
gun in
that,
your
Charles.
hand.
I said that.
Yeah. Well, you applauded the father. The father's a monster.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off
We are given the platform here with no fear.
always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the
neighborhoods
hell
go,
up.
"You
and
interrupt
let
me all
speak
the
to my
time."
people.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time! She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie.
Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Thank you, Oakland. I appreciate this. All the hard work, 20 years of working. This is what y'all gave me. Thank you, I appreciate it so much. It's just great, man. Worked so hard to build this. So many late nights, early mornings for this punk right here. Coward right here. All you with this punk folk dumb beef y'all got going on, man. I appreciate y'all, bro. Y'all brought that punk to a restaurant, the only black-owned fine dining restaurant that we have. Thank you. Thank you. I give up. Thank you. I appreciate it.
In this round, here's Quanell X.
Charles, that was a video of a brother in Oakland, California, who was really speaking out of hurt, pain, and rage to some degree of a mass shooting inside of his restaurant, allegedly by gang members who had a beef with one another. And he was just totally angered because now he's probably being forced to close this restaurant and lose income after so much hard work and sacrifice. And let me say this to black people, brothers and sisters, we have always asked for young black men to be productive, do something strong with their lives, and do something good for the community. This man opens a fine dining black restaurant in Oakland, the only one there. And what we do is we shoot his place up for whatever the reason may be to where he has to close down. I hope and pray that we as a people will rally around that brother's restaurant and send a message to not just him, but to all of us as a people. Not only will we patronize black businesses, we will protect them from the very element that has no respect for black-owned institutions. No white folks shot his restaurant up. That's us destroying us. So let us come together with a solution and raise money, raise resources, and I'm hoping that the black players that play for the Raiders, that play for the Golden State Warriors, whoever's in the area that's an athlete, entertainer, go to his restaurant, have a meal, patronize it, and if we got to stand outside as security, let us do that to send a message that we're not going to tolerate this, or we destroying our own businesses.
Yeah, a sad fact about Oakland, and you mentioned the Raiders who have now gone to Vegas.
Yeah.
The Oakland A's are trying, in fact, to go to Vegas. My son and wife went to A's Stadium last year, and he sent me a video when they were leaving in the Uber, and it looked like bombed out Syria, open fires, trash everywhere, just right outside the stadium. This is Clayshawn Hill. He is a celebrity chef. I think it's Clee's Kitchen. He goes by Chef Clee's, is his Instagram. That was from his Instagram, where you can hear the pain in Chef Clee's voice about having built this, and opening a restaurant is hard, right? Anywhere. Opening fine dining in a economically depressed area of downtown Oakland is very hard. And while it's not the only fine dining in Oakland, it's the only African-American owned fine dining. And when he opened it, he said the reason he was opening this was to provide a space for black excellence, push back against gentrification and systemic inequities. And, it's...
So who has to fix this?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because when you see what we have in urban America, in impoverished America, whether it's black, whether it's Latino, Caucasian, Asian, and honestly, let's be honest, it's not a big a problem.
So
with
who
Asians
can
whites,
send the message
right?
that this
But
is
it's
not tolerated, and we will protect that brother's business?
Well,
who?
you have like Oakland, you have a city council that is so antagonistic and it's very anti-cop, right? ACAB,
The
all cops are
cops didn't do this.
Right. But
Other
here's the
brothers
thing.
did.
But that is almost all of the violence in black
So
communities.
who has
It's
to
not
fix
the
it?
evil police.
So whose responsibility
Well,
is to fix it?
I think as America, we need to start having painful,
America.
honest conversations.
America.
Whereas you just want to, white America's still
No,
in the 1950s.
it's black people's job to send a message that we will protect black-owned businesses from the element that's in our community that has no respect for black-owned
here's
businesses.
The thing. A lot of rule-following, law-abiding, earnest African-American children go to public schools where they're terrified to excel because they're going to get beaten and abused by the other kids in their classroom. I went to a predominantly African-American elementary school. We were poor. And there were kids that were just mean to kids that did well in school, right? And now it's gone completely off the rails. With
So
the
who
Obama
changes that
administration.
narrative?
Well, Obama actually changed stuff with the Department of Education.
See,
so now they just
you don't want to speak the truth.
No discipline, and kids get pushed without an education.
Who changes that narrative,
No one
Charles?
fails. And we have communities now where we have all cops are evil, so cops don't enforce the law.
The cops didn't do this.
Okay, you're right.
And the
Because
cops
we
are
have
not
this
in
new-
school
Right,
bullying
because-
other black children for pursuing academic excellence. The cops are not in school accusing black children who speak linguistically correct as speaking like white people. The
Okay.
cops are not doing this.
All right, I agree.
So don't sit there and pretend
I agree.
like it's
I'm
not black
You're
people's
the one that
responsibility.
pretends it's all whitey's
It's our
fault.
responsibility to fix that, Charles. Black people cannot look for white people to fix the internal problems of the black community.
Why do we have to tear America apart and put black
Charles,
people, white people? Why can't we as
we
Americans
cannot look for
come
white people
together
to get
in a
involved
melting pot
and fix this
and build
problem?
a better America? You
Charles,
talk about reparations.
this
Why
is
aren't
our
real
problem to
reparations
fix, Charles.
making black communities safer, making
Charles,
black
you're
communities
wrong
have
on
better
this one.
schools, making the infrastructure in black communities
Charles,
better?
it's not
Oakland
white
is
people's
a
responsibility
trash
to
hole.
have
There's a
strong black
reason
independent
gold-
education.
No, it's all of Americans' responsibility.
No.
It's those that seek
It's
to
the
segregate and
responsibility
divide
of those who
that are
live in
tearing
that
us apart.
community. It's those who live in that community. They assume the first responsibility to set the standard of
So
black
you-
academic
you-
excellence.
you wanna
It is
segregate
those
America?
who live in that community who set the standards of children doing their homework, making sure parents
Well,
are
that's not
engaged in
working.
the school system.
Well, that's not
Well,
working.
guess what? White folk can't fix it.
Okay.
That
How
problem has
about-
to be fixed within us, by
Right,
us,
but
for
but
us.
don't you think this whole for us, by us, don't you think dividing America by mutable
We're
characteristics,
already divided,
whether
Charles.
it's by religion,
Majority
well,
of black
we were
children
actually
go to
coming-
black schools.
We were actually coming
Majority
together.
of white people,
I was
white
raised-
students go
I
to
was
white schools,
raised
Charles.
in the
We
70s.
already segregated.
I was born in 1972, and I was raised by parents that told me from the very beginning that racism was awful, right? And my whole life was being taught that we should see past color. Then in the mid-2000s somewhere, we decided we were going to embrace critical race theory, and we were going to decide that all white people, no matter how hard their life was, no matter how poor they were, no matter what they went through, that they're all privileged. And we also decided
people
that
didn't come up
black
with that.
America can't be racist.
Black people
right?
did not start
And
critical
that we're
race
not-
theory.
And somehow,
Black
that if
people
you have
did
a
not
different
come up
complexion,
with critical race theory.
Hold on.
Who did?
You also, well, you
Who
sure
did?
celebrated.
Who did?
And
So you
you've
won't
said-
tell that
you've
story.
said over
Who
and
came
over
up with
again-
critical race theory? Who?
Well,
the same folks who came up with welfare in America.
Well, I'm glad
That's who
you
came up
agree.
with it.
I'm glad you agree it's a bad thing.
We
But
don't
here's
need
the
critical
thing.
race theory. What we need is the truth.
No, what we need is
America
unity.
needs the truth.
We
That's
need
what we
unity.
need.
We need a unified people that are working to solve the problems, right? What you make a living off keeping the people
Charles, the greatest
divided.
race hustlers on planet Earth have been white people. Robbed
I don't
every natural
disagree.
resource
I don't
from
disagree.
every native indigenous people anywhere on Earth and brought a whole race of people to America to hustle off them for free labor for 400 years. I'll be damned you try to call somebody black a race hustler.
Okay, well, I mean,
the biggest race hustlers have been white folks on planet Earth for the past 6,000 years.
Fits. But here's the thing. You keep talking about how black people must do this. America must do this. We must make our
No, brothers
communities
and sisters,
safer.
don't
We
look
must
for
start
white people
putting
to do what we're supposed to do for
murdering, shooting,
ourselves.
robbing scumbags in prison again.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's put a ride home.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
That's it for the Face-Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.
Hey, besties.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's put a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, Stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
It's time for today's Face Off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
You call him a child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
In this round, here's Quanell X.
Charles, this is a case that the entire country is talking about. White woman at a playground with a child. A little 5-year-old autistic black child is there. She accuses the black child of going through her child's things and starts yelling and calling the black child the N-word over and over. A bystander is there, man also of color, and he records this white woman, and she's very bold about saying the N-word and would not apologize, very unapologetic. And then she goes on to say it again when the man says, I dare you to say it again. She says it over again 3 times. What's shocking and horrifying beyond just her conduct toward a black child, special needs child, is that Americans and those across this country, and maybe a few outside of it, raised $600,000 for her fund to support her and her family. She was not charged with a crime yet.
Well, what crime do you think she should
Wait
be charged
1 second. I'm not saying that. But that could be child abuse. But she was not charged with a crime, but raised $600,000. What does that money mean to black people? What message is being sent to black people? What it's saying to black people is that America in 2025 is no better than our fathers were back in 1965. You got that much money being raised for a white woman using such racial hate toward a 5-year-old child that says to black people, we have no friends in this country but God and ourselves. That is a message to other white people also, that whatever you do to black people, we got your back. Whatever you do to black people, to mistreat them, to violate them, even shoot them or kill them, we will raise hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to support you. What in the hell did that white woman do to deserve $600,000 being donated to her? Because white parents don't see black children like they see their own children. It ain't no way in the hell in a country like this in 2025 she should have raised $1,000, less known $600,000 for mistreating a black child.
Sometimes when I sit across the table from you, I feel like I am in the twilight zone, and this really can't be real, because just what was it, 2 weeks ago, you were applauding the Give Sin Go GoFundMe knockoff for raising a similar amount of money for an African American kid that, or young adult, that stabbed someone else in the chest and killed them. And you were also sitting there calling the victim's twin brother a racist. You made up this lie.
I called him a liar.
No, you called him a racist.
I called him a liar and a bully.
Okay, but you also called him a racist. It's just a kid that just held his brother while he died, and you made it all up.
Who walked up bullying along with his brother.
He didn't. There's no testimony.
Walked up intimidating along with his brother.
I appreciate that you're sticking to your lie, but you're still lying. Okay, that was a murder. it was horrible, and all the people that gave money to that kid are equally disgusting. Here, this was a clearly racist scumbag woman. Anyone that's going to use, whether it's a racial pejorative or just cuss words and ugly words at a child, whether she perceived the child as autistic or not, for taking something out of a diaper bag, is a disgusting pig of a person. She's an absolute scumbag. A bad word, however, is not as evil or scummy as a murder, right? But they're both awful, right? Now, you talk about, and this is Rochester, Minnesota, they've said, hey, we've conducted an investigation. We've referred it to the city attorney's office for charges. This is not a criminal charges issue, right? It is somebody saying ugly things, right? It is protected against governmental reaction under the First Amendment, the free speech clause of the First Amendment. You're free to say horrible stuff, right? It shouldn't be a crime. We don't need thought or word police. But equally, we should all be disgusted with her. We should be disgusted with her, and we should be disgusted with the people that gave her money, just like we should be disgusted by the people that applauded Carmelo Anthony. But here we are, you sit over there, and you say that this is somehow indicative of all of white America, because there is some scummy white Americans, and probably a handful of people of color, that gave her money. But it doesn't. It speaks to the individuals, much like her behavior speaks to her individually, much like Carmelo's behavior speaks to Carmelo individually, and the individuals that applauded it and then lied on it, like you, it speaks to your lack of character.
No, what it speaks to is that when
people.
the murderers of Emmett Till were charged, they raised tens of thousands for those cold-blooded killers of Emmett Till. When the murderer of Medgar Evers was arrested and captured, he raised tens of thousands of dollars in the 1960s. When the killers the beaters of Rodney King, those cops in 1992 who beat the hell out of Rodney King, they raised almost $1 million for their defense. When Michael Brown's killer right here in America, around the same time, several years back now, maybe 10 years, he raised $1 million for his defense. George Zimmerman raised over $1 million for killing Trayvon Martin. Charles, we as black people have witnessed over and over and over when some white person murders a black person, no matter the circumstances, they're raising tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars from white folks in America donating to them. And now in 2025, that video is straight up. Everybody can see that. What does it say about the progress in this nation? What does it say about the state of this nation? Carmelo Anthony, his fundraising was a reaction to all of those white people who've killed black people and raised hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars in their defense fund. His fundraising was a reaction and an outcry from black people that enough is enough. It is a sick state of America when a woman can talk like that to a child and be absolutely unapologetic, and then she had enough wherewithal, whoever talked to her, to create a FundMe page to help her with internal expenses and raise $600,000. Charles, we have not gotten better in this country, we've gotten sicker.
Yeah, the suggestion that America has not evolved on race since the 50s, you need it because it's how you make a living, right? Perpetuating this lie to America, but you're lying, right? You're not kind of lying, you're not sort of lying, you know you're lying, and you're lying. And also trying to draw a false equivalency. I love how you pick historical incidents.
From then till today.
And then just
from then till today.
And make up facts.
From all the way from back then till right now today, Charles.
Yes,
they did.
You just make stuff up.
Even the mayor in Mississippi gave money to those white men that were charged with killing the 3 young boys who were arresting folks to vote in Mississippi.
Talk about today. Let's talk about today. So every time a white person kills, the problem is that I think it is it's something like 28 times when you account for not just the number, because African American men are murderers are twice as likely to murder a white person than white murderers are to murder a black person. But when you include for per capita, it's something like 30 times more likely.
Which is an outright lie.
No, it's not. It's not
and those numbers have been disputed. Even some of the black scholars from Black Enterprise analyzed those numbers and said those numbers were not true. But you sat in that same seat and you criticized the Department of Justice data when it said white men men were the most dangerous men for terrorist attacks in America. You condemn those numbers and say, oh, that's the Biden administration.
What the Biden administration did was
the numbers are good when you like who's putting them out against who you're putting them out. But when they're against white folk, you don't like the numbers.
It's always very clear when you don't want to talk about the truth because you just shout over me. Okay.
My apologies, sir. Forgive me.
The Biden, we apologize for something you do all the time. The Biden administration wants to narrow down to motive, right, and say only when this mass shooting motive, and you sit over there, you say most mass shootings are white men, which is not true, right? Most mass shootings in this country, right, are perpetuated by black male criminals, and it sucks. And we have a real problem with crime, and there seems to be an incredible racial bias into who's committing crime and also who is typically the victim of crime, because black people are also overrepresented in victimization. Here, right, this is just someone that said ugly words, and then a bunch of idiots gave her money. She's a scumbag, right? But just 2 weeks ago, you attacked the living twin brother of a victim of a homicide.
Who was a bully right along with his brother and not stand on it.
Zero
a bully right along with his brother who went, harassed, and threatened an innocent young man who wasn't bothering nobody. Absolutely.
So you applaud a GoFundMe for a scumbag murderer, right? And you cry about a
Carmelo Anthony was defending himself.
No, he absolutely was not.
But Charles,
he's a scumbag murderer.
This case is not even close.
But then
you comparing this case of this white woman in Minnesota
still interrupting me,
to what's happening with Carmelo Anthony. Night and day, Charles. Stop it, man.
You're right.
This is beyond sick.
You're right.
This is beyond sick, Charles.
I find murder to be worse than ugly
Charles,
words. But
this is beyond sick.
But you're right. Right? They are different because one committed murder. But here's the real
and the other
rub.
white woman committed a crime against a black child, a 5-year-old black child, and raised over $600,000.
It is not a crime.
Let me tell you
say
something.
Ugly words.
We as black people got to stop wasting our time talking to white folks because they are going to try to convince us that everything is okay. Everything is gravy, baby. They're going to try to convince us that America has evolved and we've grown and that we're better. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. This is a message being sent to all of us. And we better wake up and look at this as clear as day for what it is. America is not getting better. In the current climate in this nation based on race, America is worse now as it was in the 60s, in my opinion. And I'm worried with this type of message. I'm really worried, Charles. This message right here is now, I believe, going to inspire other hardcore racists to commit certain acts and believing that America will financially support them and take care of them. What message does this send, Charles, to other racists who want to shout evil racist words against black children? You can raise 600,000. Charles, this message right here is a scary, frightening message, but the message is being sent to us.
I don't disagree. And you notice how I sat here and listened to your diatribe without screaming over you? I just listened like an adult.
When I'm hitting you with facts, it's kind of hard.
No, you don't ever hit with facts, right? Instead, what you're taking is this horrible incident, and it is a horrible incident. It's a disgusting incident. The people that gave her money are disgusting, but it's not a crime. Right? We don't want word police in this country. The First Amendment protects against it. We just want to recognize she's a deplorable human being. But you take this and you act like you weren't advocating for, so what was the message to white America when some kid pulled off a knife and killed him in a thing and everyone rallied around and you,
I'll tell you the message.
No, I'm talking.
You asked me a question.
You asked me a dozen questions, and I sit there and say, just interrupt.
You asked me a question.
Are you going to let me talk?
Go right
ahead. What you take this is you say, oh, this is a message to all black America that America is still worse than the 1960s because that's how you make money, and say, oh, we're all evil. See, I don't see this as a message to an individual race or an immutable characteristic, right? I don't see people supporting Carmelo Anthony as speaking for the black race. I think they speak for the people that seek to monetize racial grievance, you, and for the racists within the black community. I think here, this speaks to the racists in the white community. And I think all of the racists are disgusting people. And I think instead of speaking to brothers and sisters, which when you say that, you mean only black people. We've had this discussion before, right? And I think we should be speaking to everybody and maybe should say, hey, let's stop judging people based on the color of their skin.
That's not working.
No, it was working.
Dr. King,
until people like you figured out
spoke
you
those
could
same
make
words.
millions of dollars a year.
King spoke those same
selling
words.
racial grievance.
Dr. King spoke those same words and was assassinated Frederick Douglass spoke those same words and was never respected. Charles, we have had leader after leader after
Frederick
leader.
Douglass was never respected.
No, he wasn't.
Why do you just make stuff up?
Frederick Douglass, if he was so respected, they would have listened to him and did exactly what he said when he spoke about land ownership for black people and how to repair the damage that slavery did.
So
Charles,
you're saying
we have had
that he
leader
didn't get
after
his
leader
way.
after leader
Okay.
speak to America with some of the most loving voices, kind voices that are not revolutionary, that are not radical. Those voices, Charles, failed to change the core of this nation. Charles, my biggest concern is
So when America elected Barack Obama,
this message
when
that is
America
being sent,
is electing
Charles.
African Americans not only to the top office, the executive,
But
but all
who
the way
elected Barack
down.
Obama?
Okay.
We didn't choose Barack Obama. Barack Obama
so
was
we-
Barack
you had a
Obama.
meeting?
Barack
You had a
Obama
black
was
person
selected.
meeting?
No, he was selected before he was elected. Remember that. Barack Obama was selected before he was
you know
elected,
that's for all
and in that
presidents?
room, were no black folks.
Okay.
When they told him to run, when they told him to run
literally
and
just
promised him
lied.
financial backing to run, no black folk in that room.
Hendricks is a scumbag.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and the Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You
and
interrupt
let
me all the
speak to my
time.
people.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Listen to everything. After they waded through the mud and the murky waters turned up by a less than perfect investigation, they came back with criminally negligent homicide. Now the state, they started out hard, swinging and crying murder. They wanted everyone to believe that my client, this young man, Cason Allison, was a cold-blooded murderer. But that's not the verdict you heard today. The jury looked at the evidence. They looked at all of the evidence, or rather, they looked at the lack of all of the evidence. The vital pieces that were ignored or mishandled, and they said no, not murder. They didn't even say manslaughter.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
So, Quanell, this is an update of a case where a white student with probably the whitest sounding name I've ever heard, Cason Allison, stabbed a Hispanic or Latin student, Joe Ramirez, in the bathroom of their high school in a small town, Belton, Texas. The stab wound, different, as we were just talking about Carmelo Anthony, which was a single stab to the heart. The description that I read sounds like that Cason stabbed Joe all over his body, right? A great number of stab wounds that ultimately took his life. He was pushing a similar self-defense against an unarmed person argument. Now, there was video out there of Joe punching him. It's something that has not been alleged, and what we have alleged in Carmelo Anthony was a shove, but he was ultimately found guilty. They rejected the self-defense, but then found him guilty of the state jail felony offense of criminally negligent homicide, which means the maximum he could do is 2 years in a state jail facility, which is kind of in between a county facility and TDC, real prison, or he could actually serve his time in a county facility up to a year in jail.
If he gets any time at all.
Yeah, if he gets any time at all. They did reject the self-defense, but they found him of the lowest possible lesser included, right? Which you as a defense attorney, you can ask for an instruction on murder.
And it's up to the judge to grant that instruction.
Right, but the law favors the defendant's right to have the lesser included on the jury charge. Now, while I disagree with this outcome, because I personally think Casey Allison, if you look at the totality of evidence, statements he made beforehand.
Saying he wanted to kill him.
Right.
Desired to kill him. Was planning to kill him.
I think it's a disgusting outcome. I think the state did a bad job prosecuting the case. I didn't like the gleeful smirk of the female attorney there.
Because I understand it. You don't understand it.
Why don't I understand
She's sitting there smiling for a reason.
Well, because she's a
and
lawyer
listen to
and
the
she
words
won.
of that criminal defense attorney. He's bragging in his own dog whistle call way. Let me tell you what this says. I said in this chair.
Well, he won a trial.
I said in this chair before this trial started when we talked about this case, and I told you they will not find him guilty of murder.
No, you said they wouldn't find him guilty.
I told you. I said he will not be found guilty of murder. I said at best, and I was wrong here. I said maybe manslaughter, but they went less than manslaughter. Brothers and sisters, I'm saying it over and over again. They are sending a message to us in America now. This boy bragged about wanting to kill this kid. He talked in social media posts and texts wanting to kill this kid. Took a knife to school and stabbed this boy multiple times. And an all-white jury, you left that part out. An all-white jury said, no, he didn't kill nobody. It was not that. That's not murder. It's not murder. They said it's not murder. It's guilty of the lower lesser included charge. The judge didn't even remand him into custody after he was found guilty of something because the judge don't plan to give him a single day in jail. And now this is one of the reasons why, with all this evidence that showed this boy planned to kill him, planned it. This is the reason why black people are so angry in this country, because it ain't no way in the hell that a young black man could have all that evidence against him like Casey Allison has and got away with murder like this.
Hold on. You don't think there are cases in America, and maybe because you just don't pay attention,
and where's the white outrage about this guy? All the white folks who making posts about, oh, he brought a knife to a school event. Oh, he brought all these white folks. You're still a murderer. You brought a knife. Well, where's all the white folks now? All the white folks talk about Carmelo Anthony bringing a knife. Hell, he brought one and planned to bring one. No, you're an individual. I'm talking about them tens of thousands of white folks, them hundreds of thousands of white folks in this country who condemn Carmelo Anthony as a cold-blooded scumbag killer like you called him because he defended himself. Well, I tell you what.
And so is Casey Allison.
This man here, at an all-white jury, spoke, and they sent the same message that they always do.
So that they always
do.
So when black people,
we got to listen.
When there's an overwhelming
black
amount
folk got
of
to
evidence of a black person committing a violent crime
against a white person, we don't get off. We don't get off.
Hold on.
We don't get off.
OJ got off.
Say what?
OJ got off.
Because of what?
Because he's a murderer.
No, because it was planted evidence. Mark Furman, the racist, no good, bigot detective who said the only good was a dead and then lied about it. They saw police corruption. They saw police corruption and said not guilty.
I don't think the OJ verdict speaks about black America holistically, and I don't think this
black folks have watched thousands of white people get off for killing black people for generations.
Again, not true.
Black folks have watched white folks kill black people and get off for generations. Cops kill us in cold blood, they walk away. No punishments. We finally got somebody locked up in the last 5 years.
Black people kill a lot more cops than cops kill black people. And a lot of those cops are also black. But it's
black folks are not Ray Charles. We're not Stevie Wonder. We know what this message says. We know what this verdict says. We know what this verdict says. The same way that white girl raised 600,000.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's put a ride home.
That's it for the Face-Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's put a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband.
We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
An invitation to self-deport for a $1,000 payday. Tonight on The Factor Uncensored, the Trump administration's initiative to advance its mass deportation efforts.
That little kid, you call him the little child?
Plus, a woman admits to using a racial slur against a black child and raises money for what she says is protection for her family. Is this our America? We talk about the $600,000 tonight.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight. The Trump administration is offering free flights and a $1,000 stipend to anyone who is in the United States illegally who self-deports, say they're leaving the country.